Today on the DNVR pregame show, that's right, the DNVR pregame show, Uncle Neely is back. We're going to talk about some other things while we wait for Unc to show up. Big 12 quarterbacks, some recruiting, and then we're going to get into it all. Takeaways from the first week of summer workouts, just updates from the team. And I think first time we really get to ask Neely about the NFL draft, right?
Think so, bro.
Let's get into it.
Let's get it.
Ballation
Squad.
coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. That's right, the DNVR pregame show. Uncle Neely will be in the building here very shortly.
He's actually already in the chat.
Oh, there he is. He's in the chat. What's up,
He in the
Unc?
chat with it. We'll see that man soon. Looking forward to it. It's been a minute, man. It's been too long.
We got a lot to catch up with
for sure,
Neely
Steve.
with, man.
It's a good time.
Draft stuff. I mean, so last time we spoke to him was before we previewed the spring game.
Correct.
So we can talk the spring game. We didn't even go back there.
Yeah.
The NFL draft was shortly after that. Of course, summer workouts this week, the latest on Coach Prime, all that good stuff. Nikhil Webb-Walker back with the team.
Shout out to Nikhil, man. That's awesome stuff. That's exactly what you want to see, man.
Best thing I've seen in weeks is
For real.
that right there, man.
For real. And honestly, I mean, we'll get to it in a little bit, but just real quickly, like, obviously going through workouts with Swayze and the rest of the team, but like he ain't missed a beat.
Oh, yeah.
Like he has not missed a beat, so we love to see that. Shout out to Nikhil.
Not to get into it too much before, because I want to ask Neely about it too, but like this time last year, like Nikhil Webb-Walker was kind of like a sneaky, like sleeper player, man.
Yeah.
Go back and look at his time at New Mexico State, like very spotty in terms of when he got in the game, but was productive when he was on the field. Of course, he's just a long edge rusher. Colorado has been able to get guys like that and build up that depth. We'll see if he can actually capitalize on that momentum he had this time last year and start to make an impact.
From Jamaica, too.
Yep. No, he's been all over, man.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to speak out of place here, but I think he's just really still learning football. I think New Mexico State was really like his first big exposure.
Yeah.
In terms of like higher level football.
No, I think that's valid, bro. Like you said, he was pretty productive when he did play at New Mexico State. He started, 4 games for the last 6 games of that last season. He was at New Mexico State. 5 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, a couple quarterback hurries, and a forced fumble. And 6'6", 270 plus pounds. Rushing off the edge with that kind of frame and build. I'm excited to see him back out here on the field with the rest of his teammates and whatnot. You love to see it.
No doubt. What's up, Chico?
Is a what? What that mean? Actually, I don't even know what that means.
Go ahead and Google that, bro.
I don't know about that. Maybe on my phone, not on the laptop. Yeah, man.
A couple things we can talk about real quick, though. You want to do Big 12 quarterbacks or recruiting? Or you can hit the FPI thing. We talked about FPI when you were gone on Wednesday, but
yeah. So full ESPN FPI. Power forward teams' chances to make the college football playoff, according to ESPN's FPI. Where do you think they got Colorado, percentage-wise? Put a percentage on it. Actually, how about, first off, if I'm asking Jake, what percentage would you put on the Buffs to make the CFP in 2025? Jake's FPI. JPI, if you will.
Okay. The JPI says, so this time last year, I would have put the Buffs at like a 15 to 20% chance to win the Big 12 to make the CFP, I guess.
Right.
Is that what you're asking? To win the Big 12 and make it?
Well, this is to make the CFP. I think that's probably the most logical path, right? You got to win the Big 12, I would think. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Take them down a little bit this year, 10 to 15%-ish. I know that's probably not even close to what this actually is.
Yeah, I mean, according to ESPN's FBI, they give Colorado a 3.1% chance to make the college football playoff.
I'm surprised.
The same exact percentage as Cincinnati, which is interesting. One below Kentucky, right below North Carolina and Iowa. Just a smidge above Wisconsin and Florida State.
Florida State.
Who do you
team
think
that won 3 games last year?
Did they win 3? I don't even know.
I don't even know if they got that.
That's what I'm saying. They were god awful. Shout out to my pops. Actually, we were just talking about Florida State, his and Knowles this morning. But who do you think has the highest
in the Big 12?
In the Big 12.
ASU.
No.
Kansas State?
Kansas State. by a pretty good margin, too. 22% for Kansas State, 16% for Arizona State.
Okay. Sure.
Well, I mean, at least according to Pro Football Focus, those two teams have two of the best returning quarterbacks in the conference. According to Pro Football Focus, the highest graded returning quarterback is a guy that you and I have talked about a decent amount this offseason.
Thank God RK is not here for this.
No, for real. Devin Dampier is the highest graded returning quarterback in the Big 12. That's Utah's new quarterback transferring in from New Mexico. Jake and I are big fans of his game and what he can do on the football field. A true dual threat guy. Behind Dampier in terms of highest graded quarterbacks returned to the Big 12, PFF has Sam Leavitt, Josh Hoover, and then Colorado's Caden Salter.
Hell yeah.
The fourth highest rated returning graded quarterback in the Big 12.
So it doesn't say. I'm assuming this is 2024 like season grade though.
I would think so, because I don't think this is a career grade.
I mean, because if it factored 2023, he'd like his career grade, like that'd have to be way higher than that.
I think it would have to be for Dampier in particular.
What is up?
Popping?
Man, it's popping.
Hey,
Let's go, man.
Hey, that hat hard. I like that. Yes, sir.
By way of Jackson,
Mississippi.
The dope producer. Hey.
What's up?
Hey, man, you tell me.
Not much, man.
I like that cut.
Thank you,
That
bro.
boy got a fresh, don't he?
Yes.
You see him?
Yes. Killer.
We've just been kicking it out here in Colorado, bro. I know you. Last time I saw you was right after the spring game.
Yeah.
And you were walking out the building, basically. You had like a flight the next morning or whatever.
Facts.
Last time I think we even really did a show together. We previewed the spring game. A lot has happened.
A lot, man. It's been too long.
It has been too long, man.
Yeah.
But it's football time in America.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
So
God,
good to
this
see you, man.
Squad. Hey, we exactly 12 weeks away from week 1 of 84 days. Do it feel that close to you? Or do it still feel like...
It feels closer.
Yeah, closer
It
than
feels
that?
closer
Yeah.
because, like, the calendar and the football calendar are two different things.
No,
Right.
yeah.
Because when you look at the 84 days and you look at the days that we can practice or can do POPs or the times you got to take off, it's like 45 days.
Which ain't a lot.
No.
Like, were you trying to get ready for old?
Yeah, it may be like 84 days of Georgia Tech
Right.
on the calendar, but it's
Right.
like functionally like 40 days of Georgia Tech.
Got to make every day count, man.
Every day count.
I'm so excited for that one.
All right. Well, damn. Where do we start? I mean, we can go in chronological order, I guess.
Let's start with something we were just talking about.
Okay.
You shared an awesome video
Oh, yes.
as part of, your kind of day 3, I believe, kind of breakdown, so to speak, or of, summer workouts. And that included a lot of our guy, Nikhil Webb-Walker, who is obviously now back with the team after, battling cancer.
Yeah.
What can you just say about his return and what it was like to have him back in the building and around his teammates, coaches, and the whole squad?
It was surreal and like unspoken inspiration. You know, you could just see everybody like, oh, damn, like he's back. And everybody, of course, loved it, engaging with him.
Yeah.
But he was just about the business on his
Period.
end, But to know, because October wasn't that long ago.
It really wasn't.
Yeah.
And so he was going through this battle silently most of October. And people noticed he had been missing this or missing that. And it was October 24th, 25th when he stood up in front of the team and said, hey, this is what's happening. I didn't want to be a distraction, so I've been keeping it to myself.
Right.
And now I'm about to leave for a little while. And then, Coach Prime hugging him and saying, man, you're not a distraction, you're a blessing.
Period.
This is like a life lesson for everybody. And now to have him back working out in June, Because I don't think I think last we saw him in person was the bowl game. He came to the bowl game.
Right.
He got a bowl jersey, inspiration in the locker room. But he's back, man. What a wonderful story and testimony.
For real. I was just telling Jake, just from those clips that you shared, he looked like he ain't missed the beat.
No,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
said the altitude, he hadn't caught back up with that yet.
Sure.
But body looks in shape,
Yeah, he
movement,
does.
he's in shape. And I think, not only we have an impact on the field with his physical presence, physicality that is, but him just being in the building has uplifted everybody.
I believe it.
Love
That's
that,
awesome.
man. So good to see that Nikhil is back with the team. I guess just going back to the spring game, though. I mean, spring game happens just. We spoke to Coach obviously after. He seemed fairly pleased. Obviously, a lot of stuff to clean up, penalties and stuff as well. Just what would Coach say about recapping the spring? How did he feel about that little season?
Arrow pointing up. They tell you in life comparison is the thief of joy, but in football you got to compare.
For sure.
So you got to look at this spring game compared to last year, year before that, et cetera, et cetera. And there's no doubt about it, the program from institutionalized culture has changed. That what used to be a belief has become not just an expectation, but an entrenched, realistic expectation. Like these guys believe they can win, believe they can not just go to a bowl game, but go to the Big 12 championship and win in there by the playoffs.
Thanks.
That goal of getting Miss Peggy to a bowl game, that's checked.
Mm-hmm.
The goal now is to not just go to the Big 12 championship, but to win it. And that means CFP. And everybody's buying in. You look at the spring game, you look at, which wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Contrary to popular belief.
It wasn't that long ago. You look at Carter Stottmeyer's body, Arden Walker's body, Jordan Seaton's body, Tyler Brown's body. Like, these guys have made drastic changes in their quote-unquote offseason. And that just shows buy-in. Mm-hmm. That shows, I'm going to do my part. Or as Coach Prime likes to say, it won't be me. Like, that's his personal motto, that in a situation where we're depending on everybody in the group, you got to make sure it's not going to be you. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, if we lose, it won't be because of me. You see that across the board, the work these guys have put in on their own time.
It's a perfect segue to my next question, Unc, when you're talking about some of these guys kind of transforming their body kind of in a short amount of time this offseason. One of, I think, the most impactful additions, changes to this entire program, I think, is the addition of Coach Swayze.
Period.
And the outside world isn't going to talk about that. National media talk about that because he's not a coordinator, right? He's not an on-field coach, but he is going to have just as much of an impact on the on-field product, I think, this offseason as, any other coaches, because like what you just mentioned, getting those guys ready, transforming their bodies and kind of getting them to a different level of, I would say physicality. I think we're already seeing evidence of that, but what would you kind of say about the impact of Swayze already this offseason?
Scotty, deep pockets, you're nailing it, man. I have given him a nickname.
Ooh.
Hadn't caught on like yours has.
Okay.
But we're in the early stages of it, and I call him the human DM. And that is not direct message. That's difference maker. Because
That's
where
fire.
we are, he has done it. And it's so hard, man, when you have organizational changes and you're trying to complement the change. What haters out there here is you're dissing the previous person.
Right.
And that's totally not the case. Like what Coach Sims, Mo Sims did from Jackson State to here in Boulder, phenomenal. Wouldn't be where we are without him.
Facts.
And Coach Prime wanted to make an additional change to go up another level.
Yep.
And you bring in a guy like a Coach Swayze, and you know what he did for a decade plus at Miami, which is a program. And we're trying to be a program, You could just see it, man. The guys, the leadership today, Scott, they had 2100s.
Pooey.
All right, so you play ball, that by itself.
I hate hearing that.
That's a day.
That's what you do when you know you're about to have 2 days off.
For sure.
All right. When they got done, Jordan, these are the bigs early this morning. Jordan seems like, hey, y'all, let's do 2 more.
Yep.
2 more is 4 more.
For sure.
Because you got to go down and back.
Yes, sir.
And that was the player. And no one said, damn, Jordan, shut up. Don't forget. Everybody's, man, let's do it. Yeah. Matter of fact, let's do this.
Oh, God.
And so when you see that player-led stuff, challenge each other, no being and moaning, no pouting, embracing the workout, it's a totally different atmosphere.
Love it, man.
That nickname going to catch on, too, soon enough. Watch.
Oh, he's a DM, man. He's a DM. Hey, when Neely gives you a nickname,
it sticks.
go ahead and get the little R by it. Order your merch.
Let me speak from personal experience.
I mean, literally, this guy just gets stuff sent to him with that on.
I got that nickname on a T-shirt now.
I'm trying to tell you.
On a T-shirt. You feel me?
You need a nickname, holler at your boy. Man. It ain't hard to find.
Let's take our first break. We'll dig into the rest of this week, takeaways and the draft. Tons of stuff still.
Yeah.
Shout out to the homies over at Monarch Money. It's summertime. Everyone wants to take vacations. Everyone wants to take time off. Everyone wants to go get, Switch 2, all this cool stuff going on. You got to manage your money, though. You got to make sure your finances are straight and all set, because let's be honest, it can get messy and confusing at times. That's where Monarch Money comes in to act like your personal CFO, to give you the full visibility and control so you can stop earning and start growing with subscription plans and all that stuff going on. You need a service like Monarch Money just to make sure that you're getting the most mileage for your money. You're not just continuing to pay things that you don't even know you're paying it sometimes. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR.
Shout out to the squad over at Coors Light, man. It is it's the summer. It's June.
Yes, sir.
And it is the perfect time to chill. Whether you're outside, whether you're kicking it with your homies, your fam, your significant other. It's not too many better ways to chill and enjoy the company of other than with an ice cold Coors Light. And obviously with the NBA Finals now in full swing, the NHL Stanley Cup Finals now in full swing, come and get a Coors Light or two here at the DNVR bar, because as y'all know, when the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When you embrace the chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Like, I mean, Coors is like the only thing good that turns blue. I'll let y'all think about that.
Did you know?
Appreciate that.
Did you know if you're like cooking garlic and you put like acid, like lemon on it, it turns blue?
I did not know that.
Found that out firsthand a couple weeks ago.
Garlic turns blue?
You're in the kitchen? You Chef Jakin?
Hell yeah, man.
He do. I can't even lie. He be chefing up a little bit.
I do.
Right. You sure as he just opened up a factory meal and told y'all to cook it? Yeah.
You know, speaking of food, Unc,
Oh, let's get into it. Come on, let's do it.
I have a pretty important question for you.
Now, you come to an expert now, all right?
We need an expert's opinion.
All right. Here we go.
Period.
Unbiased.
What are your thoughts / feelings on Meatloaf?
Man, Meatloaf, like, is a staple when done right. Like, Meatloaf is the truth. Meatloaf, sauce has got to be red on the meatloaf. I'm not a brown sauce meatloaf guy. But you give me a red sauce meatloaf accompanied by some mashed potatoes, it's just go-to, man.
So you used the
My
word.
guy.
You used the word go-to.
Yeah.
I think you said staple up in there.
Yeah.
And that is
Yeah. You
Maybe-
can do so much with meatloaf.
You're
Like, you put it on the
sleeping,
plate
bro.
and you eat it. You can make a sandwich out of it. Like, meatloaf is clutch, man.
Facts.
I mean, how do you not like meatloaf but you eat hamburgers? Like, it's the same, you know.
you and Jake talked about this.
This is
I'll convince
incredible.
you and Jake talked about this.
This is incredible. In fact, every conversation I've had with Jake since the spring game, you have been part of it. Like, we're in the same text group.
Facts.
Gee,
No, meatloaf, man, it's clutch.
I haven't had my eyes open to the power of
Yeah,
meatloaf
you have
just
good
yet.
meatloaf. That's what it is.
And maybe I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt. Like maybe in the South they do, you feel me? And maybe in
yeah.
Jackson, Mississippi they do meatloaf a little differently.
No,
But
meatloaf is real.
yeah,
I'll
wow.
take some meatloaf right now, balls. But
That is crazy.
gotta get meatloaf
I'm
in your life,
clearly in the
man.
minority. Clearly,
You are, bro.
red sauce though for me. Like, I don't like the brown sauce.
Yeah,
the
see.
gravy or whatever.
No, that ketchup-based sauce.
Yeah.
A little sweet.
Then
Wow.
it falls into like the crevices and cavities of the meatloaf when they pour it over. Oh my
You ever had a
God.
smoked meatloaf?
Yes, man.
wow.
Don't mess around and let the meatloaf have stuff in it. Like some diced up bell peppers or onions or something. Oh my God.
A little bacon wrapped?
You're over here getting
learning
excited.
today.
You're
Like,
getting
dude,
excited.
no, I don't know.
delicious.
I don't like sleeping on meatloaf, man. Like,
Wow.
I know meatloaf's like fried chicken. Everybody ate it. You know, just
Yeah, for real.
All I'm shocked over here. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of at a loss for words.
Shout out. Where's Wayne?
I thought
Shout
for
out
sure.
Wayne.
He probably munching on some meatloaf right now as we speak.
Hell yeah, Wayne.
Yeah, he making me want it.
Dubs
I'm gonna
Rush.
Google meatloaf.
That's a good one, Shay Shay. If Chef Solomon made me some meatloaf, I might. You feel me? I
So
could be talking to that.
he hasn't done it in a while, but he makes an excellent meatloaf.
I bet.
Hell yeah.
I went back there and like, dude, this was spot on. This is meatloaf.
Wow.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, this is how you want to do your meatloaf right here.
Oh man, we can just
That's
end the show
crazy.
right there. That's all I cared about today.
So you've never had it?
No, he's just being a hater.
I really can't. I think I did have it maybe as a teenager, but like it didn't sit with me. Like I haven't had it as an adult. That's for sure. I ain't had it as an adult.
Oh man, you gotta. Yeah.
I ain't had it as an adult.
Listen out.
Yeah, you are, man. I don't know what to add to that. Go-to staple.
I want to ask you about somebody on the team, Unc.
Let's do that.
That's Phillip Houston. What can you tell us about Phillip and obviously his kind of recovery, where maybe he's at right now as summer workouts begin? Because obviously he missed the last few games of last season with a pretty serious knee injury.
Yeah.
What would you say his status is as of right now? It's still 12 weeks from week 1.
So you've gone down another street called Nickname Boulevard.
Let's go.
And I call him Weapon X, which is Wolverine, who's known for his
Facts.
healing power.
Let's
Because there's
go.
no way this guy should be back the level that he is right now.
Wow.
During the spring, he was on the bike,
Right.
Watching practice. So he could do cardio stuff, but just couldn't put a lot of weight on it. Today, he was out there doing the drills.
Full go.
Yeah.
Brace?
No brace on.
Crazy.
That's what I told him. I was
Wow.
like, this is all boxes checked from doctors. Like, this
Yeah.
ain't no, just force him out there with the playoffs coming. It's not that kind of thing. He has healed, man, and it's full weight on it. They had the hurdle set up today, where you hip over, go under. He's no brace on doing it. So that's all his weight on one leg at some point.
Wow.
Looking good. I think he's going to contribute. I think one thing that people are sleeping on, because it's so easy to rightly so talk about Jordan Seaton, who literally looks like an NFL player right now.
Sure does.
But I really believe that when we get to next year's showcase, how we only had like 1 or 2 offensive linemen this year?
Yeah.
You're going to have about 6.
I can see it.
That pros want to come see and evaluate for the draft process.
Let's go, man.
And this time around, we not only have 6, we really have 10 because we have depth. And they're interchangeable. They can play more than one position, and they're just as talented as the guy in front of them. There's no drop-off like it used to be.
No doubt.
So this offensive line and defensive line are both complementary in that regard, that the talent and the depth is there. We can run 2 at you.
That's awesome to hear about Phillip Houston. So just to be clear, it wouldn't surprise you at all if he was ready to go week 1.
Not at all.
For sure.
Not at all.
And I think that right tackle spot in particular, where he started 9 games at right tackle for Colorado last year, I think that's going to be one of the most fascinating competitions because obviously they added some guys in the portal who can play that position. Larry Johnson, the big fella from Tennessee.
Yep.
And some other guys who are probably going to be competing to start at right tackle. That's going to be fascinating to watch. And I'm curious your thoughts on this too. I think the offensive line is the most improved position on this team from last offseason to this offseason. Would you agree?
Yes. And it's right there with D-line because of the addition of depth, but I'm going to go with you on what we can think of the start. And here's what we got to do as fans, supporters of the program, and even to the players themselves. We got to get out of the mindset of who's starting.
Yeah.
Because the way this offense is going to run, with which either quarterback is going to get the nod, you may not start against Georgia Tech or Delaware, but by the time we get to BYU, you're going to have about 9 guys that got the same amount of minutes.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be matchup based. It's going to be what are we trying to do this day and who does that better than next. But this line room, this O-line room, they're going to get their reps.
No doubt.
Love it, man. Bunch of newer. Go ahead.
I was going to say one thing about Houston was hard to keep him out of the game is his reach. Like, that dude is long.
Yes.
And long arms win.
Especially on the edge.
Yeah. So it's going to be a battle, but I'm still not putting a lot of weight on, like, okay, that's the starter, and that means, like, he's playing every snap and he's that much better than everybody else.
Right.
We're going to run guys at you.
You mentioned, though, just about potentially next year's showcase with multiple offensive linemen who NFL guys are going to be interested in. I mean, Phillip, Kareem Harden, Jeremy Gill, Aki, Zy Crisler, who we're really excited about, Xavier Hill, we're really excited about, Cooper Lovelace. All those guys are seniors or grad transfers in their final year of eligibility. And I can see most of those guys getting looks at the NFL.
And what do we have last year? Really just one?
Yeah.
In the showcase?
Yeah.
I think it was just Justin Mayers.
Yeah,
wasn't
just
it?
Mayer. That's what I'm
For
talking
sure.
about.
Yeah.
I think you might have two on paper, but one that actually like performed and et cetera. There's only one.
Right.
That's going to be a big jump.
Can't wait, man. A lot of new guys who showed up. A lot of spring transfers. I think we only had one high school recruit, the tight end Zane DeSouza, who was a later enrollee. Just what has been your impressions of these new guys? Whether you've gotten to speak to them or it's just you've seen them walking around. Just what have you noticed from some of these new guys so far?
New guys in 2025 are totally different from new guys in 2023.
I love that.
New guys in 2025 walk up to you and introduce themselves.
Hell yeah.
And ask you, what do you do for the team? Oh, God. Hey, I see you around, man. What's your role, coach? Like, they're not shy. And I think part of that is, we talked earlier about the culture now being entrenched. So many people got to follow and see this program outside of before joining it, that they're coming in with the right attitude.
Yeah.
They're coming in knowing, like, I would have made a difference in that BYU bowl game. Sure. I would have made a difference in that game, and we go to the Big 12 championship instead of missing it. And so these guys are coming in excited, hungry, ready to contribute. You can't tell new guys from the old guys by body language. Like, no one's taking a back seat to somebody.
Yeah.
People are accepting challenges. People are, chirping back and forth during the drills. There ain't a new guy in there as far as what it looks like. They all look like they've been with this program.
Hell yeah, man.
I think part of that, and you just mentioned it there, where a lot of these guys that are coming in new, they kind of partly already know what to expect because of the great job you do, putting the program out there, and Bucky and Darius Sanders and the rest of the guys. And I think Coach Primus talked about that as well. Like, a lot of these guys knew when they come and visit, whether it's a high school transfer or recruit, they're not coming to find out what Colorado is about. They're coming to get confirmation about what they already seen
confirm the priors
and what Colorado is about. So I think that is what's helped them kill the transfer portal, obviously, in a good way the last couple of years.
Scotty, you hear that from them on their visit.
Yeah.
They'll walk into the team meeting room and say, oh, okay, I see this room all the time.
For sure.
Like, it doesn't feel strange to them. It's an affirmation of, it looks like what I see on YouTube. It looks like what I see during the press conference. Oh, okay, this is the tunnel. Oh, this is the locker room. Like, it's an affirmation thing, like you said, and the perception matches reality.
Right.
There's no, hey, this doesn't look like.
Exactly.
Ain't no Temu going on. It's like, this is real.
Was that green screen?
Temu's not a sponsor. Shout out Temu.
But that's a credit to y'all for, like, showing the real too, right?
Yeah.
And not just, although y'all do have editing power, not just, splicing and editing stuff up to make something look a certain way. No, giving the real and putting the real out there for people to consume and whatnot. I love that.
Our running back, Batiste, came up to me at lunch yesterday. He said, oh, man, you put me throwing up out there. I said, well, you threw up. He said, oh, no, I love it, man. I got so many calls.
Shout out Titus.
That's how you know he's working.
And that's what I told him. I said, so many people, because they're not looking at it from a football eye, right?
Yeah.
Hey, think about this. Let me rewind a second. Because you guys would witness it through your platform. Remember how many people were iffy, doubting, or even questioning when Coach Swayze spoke to the team and introduced himself? Man, who was this guy coming in talking to them like that? Man, look.
Over Coach Mo? Yeah.
And look where we are now.
Yeah.
And so when you see a guy throw up week one, you really want more people throwing up because that means I'm giving it all I got.
For sure.
Like when you see a guy, he's done his 10 reps and he can laugh and play, but you didn't give me your all on those 10. Because there's no way you went 100% 10 times in a row and you can crack a joke.
Yeah.
And so it's a compliment when you see a guy dry heaving. It's like, all right, he's all in, man.
Definitely.
Love it.
Giving it his all. Another perfect segue, though. You mentioned Titus Batiste, though. Shout out to him. One of the few, maybe the only guy on the team, I believe, from the Chicagoland area. So shout out to him. But
I think you're right.
The running back position, I want to ask you about that. Your thoughts as we sit here on June 6th or whatever, just about how the running back position kind of shapes up right now with obviously probably those top three guys that we're thinking about in addition to Charlie. And obviously with Marshall Faulk, obviously in there, and he enters his first summer.
You remember you asked me about the most improved group, and I was I wanted to put running backs in there.
Really?
Hell yeah.
And that's because coaching, philosophy, offensive scheme, a commitment from Coach Shermer that we have to run. If we're going to win football games, we got to run the ball this year.
Got to do it.
And so I choked back because I hadn't seen them do it yet.
Sure.
Because we haven't played football yet. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited about that room because there's a shift in philosophy from the position coach and the coordinator that we're going to run the ball this year.
Got to.
And I think until I see differently, I got to go Dallin and Micah, that 1-2 punch. Mm-hmm. But the new guys would tell me I'm crazy. Like, they're not here to just say, oh, yeah, y'all got it, we'll wait a year.
Yeah.
Like, they're coming to play.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm really excited about the one transfer addition from the running back spot that they added to Kalen Taylor from Incarnate Word. I mean, you talk about nicknames.
Yeah.
Trackhawk, a nickname?
Yeah,
I'm all in.
Yeah.
And he plays like such.
Exactly.
And
I can't wait to see it. Man.
Yeah, same.
Like, if you look at strength and conditioning, what they do, drills, intensity, competition, that's going to be an exciting room.
Well, see, I have a question actually about that too, because I just mentioned it, right? Only one running back was added to this roster this offseason. Mm-hmm. And I think it's safe to say that he's the only running back that Kalen Taylor is that Marshall Faulk had a hand in bringing to Colorado, right? He inherited.
As of right now, wink, wink.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. He inherited, Dallin and Micah and the rest of those guys who we're all still excited about. But do you think that means something that Marshall Faulk, again, like I said, played a role in bringing Kalen Taylor to Colorado, whereas he didn't the other guys?
I think it means a lot. If I were one of those players, if I was a Micah or a Dallin, here's what I read into it. This guy with a gold jacket, one of the best ever to do it, arguably the best to do it if you talk about not only running the ball, but understanding the offense, pass protection, and being a part of the pass game. He likes me.
Yeah.
He wants me here.
For sure.
He sees something in me that he can coach or get more out of me. So I would take it as a total compliment. Because, in this day and era of college football, it's a sensitive subject, but the reality is if a coach doesn't want you, you're not going to be on the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're going to get that meeting where it's like, might be best if you hit the portal. Happens every year, 2 or 3 times a year.
At every place.
And so when it doesn't happen to you, you have to look at that as an affidavit that somebody here wants me here, man, because they believe in me.
There's money involved. It's professional now.
Yeah.
Can't get your feelings involved.
You can't.
Business.
All right, let's take our next break, and then we'll dig into some of the draft and other stuff. Shout out to Empire today. Home field, home ice, home court advantages are the biggest advantages in sports. And just like it is for your home or business, take care of your home floor. Empire today are the experts at installing flooring in your home or business, whether you're switching to carpet, tile, hardwood, or the other way around. They got you covered. All they do is flooring, man. They're not going to try and upsell you on, curtains that match the floor or whatever, like something for your roof or plumbing. Like, they're just going to show up and take care of your floors and get them to be state-of-the-art. You can schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. DNVR listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code DNVR. Again, that's a $350 discount with code DNVR. Some restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday/DNVR for full details.
And shout out to the squad, our good friends over at Volo Sports, who just put a massive billboard right by my crib. Love to see it because we love Volo Sports over here, because Volo is Denver's most popular provider of adult social sports leagues, pickup games, and events. You can play soccer, volleyball, pickleball, which I'm about to play, I believe, for the first time this weekend. Potentially, I'll let y'all know how
Congrats,
that goes.
bro.
Kickball, basketball.
You should have Meatloaf after.
We're
doing it first.
And many other ones. Playing with Volo is a great way to, 1, meet new people, make friends, and be social. 2, stay or get more active in a fun way. But most importantly, just to mix up your after-work routine, which can sometimes get monotonous. You can play in Lodo, Rhino, Highland, City Park, Cherry Creek, South Broadway, and more. Players can sign up as a free agent, a small group, or a full team, and all ability levels and backgrounds are welcome to join. Use code DNVR10 for $10 off any Volo Denver league. Shout out to Volo.
All right, so Coach Prime did a podcast with Asante Samuel. Was it last weekend? Wasn't that long ago?
Yeah, I think it was last week.
Yeah, it was fairly recent.
That's really the first time we've heard from Coach, other than showing up in a well-off video at Shador's draft day or something like that. He revealed that he was battling something. Just can you give us an update on Coach, how he's doing right now?
He's doing good, man. One of the things we ended the spring saying was this was the most energetic and enthusiastic Coach Prime I've seen since I've been with him, and that's going back to the spring COVID season. And as he told Asante, he had a little setback, but nothing that he can't overcome. And FaceTime with him the other day, man, when he's home, people get a to-do list. Like, please know he is still the head coach of this football program as he, takes some time off. But he's still engaged, man, energetic. And let me say this about Reginald Calhoun Sr., who's the director of football operations, Coach David Kelly, who's the general manager, and Ray Forsett, chief of staff. When you have a guy like Deion Sanders that's your head coach, he's going to be away. Speaking engagements, Hall of Fame stuff, like he's going to be away.
Right.
And in the time that I've been with him, everybody knows in any organization, when the top guy is gone, people kind of lax up a little bit.
Definitely.
That's just human nature. I've never seen a Coach Prime organization run as if Coach Prime was there like it's doing now. Like there is total buy-in, man, from top to bottom. Everyone is working like he's standing right there. And that's what you want. You want to be able to go off to a speaking engagement or go on vacation and know that the organization is functioning like you're there. And the people that he has put in leadership, like they're doing it. The camps have been successful. The recruiting phase has been successful. Everything is humming as if Deion Sanders is in the room. So as he mentioned, on the Santa Samuel show, like, hey, it wasn't something that he was planning to happen but had a little setback. But he's going to be fully engaged for fall camp in the season. So he's still priming it, man.
That's definitely
great news. Great news.
It's just a credit to him and the staff that he's built and put together as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
World class, honestly.
It absolutely is, because I would mess around and hire a bunch of my friends and shit get done if I was gone, because they would be just like me.
I'm dead.
Let's go to the draft then, man.
I got a couple more things if we can get to the draft.
Sure, go ahead.
I want to ask about the quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, give us an update on those.
Just
guys.
what you've seen from them. Just an update. Obviously, we're still early in the summer, but I guess just from a leadership perspective, right? Because that's important. No matter what, whether you're a young guy or old guy, that quarterback position comes with a certain amount of leadership.
Absolutely.
Are you seeing that being exuded from those guys in particular?
In their intensity, yes, with their workouts, they got different styles, different personalities.
Sure.
One of them, could be because he's a little older or what have you, a little experience there. But they're dialed in. One thing I love about what's going on now, like they're not at each other's throat competing. Like they're not trying to, hey, I gotta tear Jake down so I can get the job.
Yeah. Seems like a healthy competition, right?
Very.
Yeah.
Like they hang out together.
Yeah.
Like, they're cool, they're kicking it, and both of them want the job.
For sure, right.
But they're not tearing each other down to get it or belittling the process. So one of the things I love about the outcome is you're going to have a damn good quarterback, whoever gets it.
Swear.
And the second part of that, if something were to happen, whether it could just be a simple scheme change or somebody having an off day, you got a damn good person coming in, man. There's just like we talk about the O-line and D-line, you don't have that significant drop-off anymore between the ones, the twos, and threes. Like, we can throw some stuff at you now.
Yeah.
And I think, probably should not say this, but we've got a lot of time for football season to come around. You can think, if you want to, Joe, opponent out there, that one quarterback in means that we're about to do this or the other quarterback in. Wrong. They both can run. They both can throw.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Like, we don't have a running quarterback and a throwing quarterback. We have two quarterbacks who can do it all.
I've said it a handful of times this offseason, but Colorado football fans should feel so lucky and blessed for this specific reason. Coach Prime has done a masterful job of not allowing fans to even be worried about the quarterback spot.
Yeah.
Didn't have to worry about Shador at all. Shador leaves, you bring in one of the most highly touted transfer quarterbacks with experience and production, and behind him, we got a 5-star blue chip freshman away in the wings too.
What other type of team loses their best quarterback in the history of the university, basically?
And some people think they're in a maybe better spot after that.
Sure. I mean, a guy who literally, if it wasn't Coach Prime, Shador is the one that it all falls on for rebuilding this program. Sure. You lose that guy, and now you're in almost a better spot.
It's crazy.
And I feel the same way about the D-line. Ain't nobody running 200 yards on us this year, dog. Like, it will not happen.
Let's go.
No.
Like, because first of all, you're going to be playing somebody who, as most institutions, don't have depth and talent at O-line.
Mm-hmm.
We got depth and talent at D-line. Like, we're switching the whole line out on you at some point in the game. Like, so that fatigue that got us last year, where the O-line is going to their coaches going like, hey, keep running.
Right.
Like, their hands on the hips. They're arguing with each other. Like, they're about to tap out.
Yeah.
You don't have that kind of D-line this year. And so what you're talking about, what quarterback, you can say about the running back. Oh, my God, can you say it about the receivers?
For sure.
Like, everything has upgraded with the absence of historic talent. Not just talent, like historic talent.
Yes.
And you haven't fallen off.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's going to be special. One more quick thing.
Hurry up, bro. I want to get to the juicy stuff.
Jake and I did this yesterday where we did like a top 5 list of guys who can make a leap, returning guys on this team who, again, returners, maybe didn't play a lot last year, maybe didn't play at all, who maybe you're expecting to have an increased role, or maybe, like you said, just like take kind of a leap into that maybe the upper echelon of guys on the team. Who immediately comes to your mind when you hear that?
The Millers at receiver, Draylon and Omarion.
We had them 1 and 2.
Taufik on D-line.
Ooh. Yeah, we did mention him for sure.
Yep.
Arden Walker.
Hell yeah.
This was like Captain Obvious one, but with a Cameron Silman Craig and a Shiloh and a Travis not back there, I got to say DJ McKinley's going to finally get the recognition that he has already been deserving.
No doubt.
So I don't know if he's going to make a true performance leap. He's going to make a perception leap.
Sure.
Because a lot of people just didn't recognize what he was actually doing out there because the other names were bigger at the time.
I mean, literally playing across from Travis. Like, good luck trying to get like any recognition.
Exactly.
This guy sucks basically because he's not Travis.
Yeah. So I think for that reason. But that, man, I mean, we can keep going.
We ran into that problem yesterday
because
we're like, damn.
Like Wiggins, man, who's like playing like his body looks now,
which is a scary sight.
Yes, like an action figure.
Yeah.
Along those lines, we threw Carter in there too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, Carter, damn good one. And for the same reason, he had a couple of injuries he had to get over, but overshadowed by the talent that was in the room. And now, like, this is about to be his secondary. So, yeah, we got good problems.
Most definitely.
Love it, man.
Good stuff.
I thought that was juicy, by the way.
No, that was good.
Not as juicy as a good meatloaf, but it was.
See, I can't even picture Meatloaf being juicy. Like, in my mind,
juicy.
Meatloaf is dry. Like,
No,
in my mind,
no,
Meatloaf is dry
man.
as hell.
Your
Like,
perception is just all wrong.
that's what it is. That's potentially what it is.
We'll go to the farmhouse soon, and I promise you.
Aye, bro.
I promise you.
See, the farmhouse food really good, and like
That's what I'm
everything
saying.
good, and I'm gonna want something else good. Like, I'm not gonna want to waste a good meal on Meatloaf. You feel me? Like,
Don't worry, bro. I'll order it for
I would
you.
tell you this about meatloaf, man. I've never not gotten seconds.
I mean, that
one of
says a
those.
lot.
Yeah,
That says a
like
lot.
I'd be like, you can have a lot of food, like I'm done.
Right,
Meatloaf,
for sure.
no, I'm not done.
Oh no, it's up there with like pot roast is like the perfect comfort food.
Yeah, I love me some pot roast.
Another thing that can translate to a great sandwich,
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
true. Yeah.
Of course.
and it ain't dry.
Yes.
I like Jake. I still
I
want
like
a little
you, man.
Jake for Christmas.
You want a what?
A little Jake for Christmas. I didn't get it last year. I told you last year, I said, I want a Jake where you pull a string, he says Jake-isms like, what do you mean? I got here as soon as I can. It was raining. I said, I wanted that for Christmas, man. Just pull a string and Jake-isms come out.
It was actually snowing, not raining.
Well, but you get my point, though. Just loaded with all the Jake catchphrases.
Man.
That's what I want, man.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
We gonna have to make actually a list of that one day. We gotta add that to the list. A top 5 Jake-isms. I don't know if we've done
He's
that
got 'em,
before.
man.
We gotta brainstorm, put
And
together
you
a
got to
top
come with the
5.
enthusiasm, too. You
Yeah.
can't just say it. Like, he means it.
I want to ask you about the draft.
Yeah.
When this all went down, I mean, one, were you as shocked as we were?
Of course. Yeah, of course. But I tell you what happens, because I was there at Country Prime, and you can't help but catch the attitude of the person that you're mad for. Mm-hmm. Like, it's hard for me to sit here mad, and Coach Prime and Shador ain't mad.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like, so you become their body language and what they're saying. they ain't tripping.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, why am I tripping? And so then it becomes like Scott just chuckled at it. You laugh it off, but it's not a fake laugh. It's like, man, God got us. We good. Watch this. It's like what's going to happen is going to happen, and we're going to show the world and shock the world.
Facts.
Which is happening now.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, man, was it a screw job? Absolutely. We know what Shedeur is capable of and where he should have been drafted. Should have been the second quarterback taken overall. Period. But at the end of the day, the Browns, man, pulled off the American dream. Is getting the best product you can for as cheap as you can pay for it. And they got a $40 million guy for $4 million.
Yes.
Yep. I mean, what you said, I totally understand it. Like, if Coach Prime and Shedeur aren't worried, like, I totally get it. Like, there's no use in getting too riled up. But still, like, the difference in being drafted in the first round and where Shedeur was drafted, that's like $40 million.
Period. Mathematically correct.
The Sanders name was straight up slandered throughout that process. Straight disrespected.
Yep.
I want to know from you, like, your thoughts. What do you think happened? Was this like a blackballing by the NFL? Was it something Shedeur actually did in a meeting? What do you think happened?
I'll take your second part first. I have been around Shedeur Sanders before his first college game, and certainly been around him every week, every pregame, every postgame of his college career. And I'm including, when I say that, interviews. The guy has never been disrespectful in an interview. So you're not going to tell me that now the biggest interview of them all of a sudden he becomes a different person, that he hadn't been in 5 years I've been around him.
Exactly.
So I'm calling BS on that. But a lot of people don't like confidence. And I don't know why you would want the leader of your team. You talked about earlier, like it or not, no matter what quarterback you go to, he's the leader of the team.
Yeah.
Why would you want one that's not confident?
They want him confident. They just want it to look a certain way.
Yeah, and confident on their terms.
Exactly.
So to answer your first part, in my mind, there's no doubt that whether you use a big word like collusion or a small word like conversations took place.
Yeah.
Because when you look at key teams like the Saints,
The Steelers,
the Raiders, there's a list of about 5 teams out there that absolutely need a quarterback.
Damn straight.
And they all passed on them. And the only thing that would give me comfort in passing on it is I knew Jake was passing on it. And Jake had talked to Scotty, and he was passing on it.
Right.
Exactly.
Because if I knew for a second that y'all are going to grab a guy I want versus us all sticking together and saying, no, one of us just get him cheap for later. To me, conversations like that took place. And I think and when I say that's cool, I mean that's cool in that there's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
What I don't like is the misinformation campaign to justify the backdoor stuff.
Yes.
So let's put stuff out and say he didn't interview well. Let's put stuff out and say that he didn't do the whiteboard well. Anybody that's around Shedeur knows he knows ball.
Exactly.
And knows he knows how to do an interview. So the stuff that they're accusing him of why he dropped doesn't even make sense if you know him, if you've been around him.
Nope.
And what's going to happen, which is you see it now in the OTA footage, is not going to mesh or match what actually comes out in the wash. Like, here's a guy whose last name is Sanders, and he's telling Joe Flacco, I'll straighten your lock, I'll clean your locker for you.
Yeah.
Right.
And it ain't no put on, because if you think it's a put on, Shiloh's over in Tampa saying, I'll be the snack guy.
For sure.
Our
The whole
meetings are
room.
long.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find out what everybody likes, and I'll bring the snacks. Like, because they were raised to be servant leaders, that there's nothing wrong with being that guy and taking care of the people around you, which is why you saw Shedeur at Colorado, and you look on Instagram and he and the old line at a steakhouse together.
Yep.
He didn't have to do that. And he wasn't doing it for the gram. He was doing it because that's who he is.
And that's what he would always do anywhere.
So BS to me on the whole process. But one thing that Warren Sapp said on Wednesdays with Warren, shout out to Coach Sapp and Wednesdays with Warren, he said, Neely, you got to understand, from the combine to pro days to the draft, the whole process is to drop your value, not raise it.
That's true.
Because they want you at a bargain.
They're picking you apart.
Every drill, every inspection, every interview, it is designed to, I like this guy,
Right.
but I got to find something to pay him less than he really deserves.
100%.
And if Shedeur's last name were Scotty Deep Pockets, he'd have been the second quarterback taken overall.
And nobody would have batted an eye.
Nope.
They would have been like, I mean, did you see what he did the last few years of college?
Exactly.
Did you see
Of
him
course.
win the what's the award for the quarterback?
Davey O'Brien.
Davey O'Brien award? Like,
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, Did you watch TV? like
the most watched team in college football. Did you watch them? Yes.
So it's like, oh man, Colorado had more wide receivers taken in the draft than any school.
How you do
Who
that?
was throwing them the ball?
How that happened?
I know.
How that happened?
Like, come on, man. So yeah, I believe there were some conversations, and the word I like to say, collusion. I think. Hey, Jake, I don't know. Me and you appear to be about the same kind of broke, and we plotting plan. So you can't tell me billionaires don't do it.
Yeah. Sure.
Right. They just do it at a higher level,
Right.
But everybody's going to get together and go like, hey, man, look. You weren't interested in that chick that I was interested in first. Do me a favor. Act like you ain't interested either. Because I'm going to ask her out, but I'm not going to ask her tonight. And I don't need anybody else to ask her tonight because I need her to feel the sting. So when I come back around and ask, she's going to be happy taking this deal. Sure. Like, that's what happened. And so you get a $40 million guy for $4 million.
Last thing I have on that, and this was like a topic earlier in the week when the media was at Browns OTAs, is he being treated fairly? Because they're not giving him first team reps. He's only worked with the third team and with even lesser than third team guys to this point. We've seen the numbers when they put him out. I mean, he's obviously producing, just being Shedeur out there. How do you feel about how he's being, I guess, treated in these public OTAs so far? Like, do you think it's the Browns, like, quote unquote, trying to humble him, make him earn it? Or is it just like, well, I don't even know.
It's all attached to the process.
The draft?
The outcome of the draft, yeah. And so I can't draft this guy 144 and give him QB1 reps. Like, because that's not where he's situated.
At least right away.
Yeah, no, not right away.
Right.
So, like, he's the fourth QB in the room. He has to. That's where he's going to eat right now. Yeah. Now, what's happening is he's doing so damn good with his opportunities that you're not going to be able to keep him there. Nope. Like, by the time you get the mandatory minis, which is next week or the week after, and come back for full-blown camp, I predict he's going to bump up by then 1 or 2 slots.
Yeah.
And I think you go into the season with him as QB2 and probably around week 4 or 5, it's like, all right, enough of the old guy. Let's get a kid a shot.
I think we're going to learn a lot this preseason about where Shedeur actually stacks up in that quarterback room.
I believe that. Because once again, like Coach Prime has preached this to this team for guys who think they should be the one, as in wide receiver 1 or LB1, whatever. Okay. You're mad that you're not getting the number of reps you think you deserve, but what are you doing with the reps you get?
Right.
So what did you do with before you think you should have 10, what did you do with the 5 I gave you? And one thing Shedeur is doing, he is kicking ass with the 9 passes he's getting. Like, he's 7 of 9, and 5 of those 7 are for TDs. It's like, it's crazy. And so what would he be doing when you go back in the film in the coaches meeting, whether you're the receiver coach or QB coach or the general manager or head coach? Man, if he's doing that with the 3 wide receivers, what are we doing with the 1s?
Exactly.
So at some point, we got to let him throw with them.
And at some point, when he keeps balling with the 3s, they're going to want to see, okay, what can you do against the 2 defense? What can you do against the 1 defense? And when he inevitably balls out against the 2 and 1 defense,
it is what it is. Then
he ain't going to have nothing to say or do other than put that boy out there.
I tell you who really like messed up in this whole process for me, the Steelers and the Saints. And
they're suspects number 1 and 2.
And the Saints really effed up because their guy retired and another guy got hurt. And so, like, they're down.
Yeah, and now their options are another, I can't even think who else is on the roster, and there's Tyler Shook, a guy who's played
Rattler,
18 years of who?
Spencer Rattler.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Rattler, yes.
So it's like, who doesn't know that Shedeur Sanders is better than them?
Yes.
They know that Shedeur Sanders is better.
They used the top 50 pick on Tyler Shook.
Yeah. And then when you look at environment, like Coach Prime would tell you, for a black kid coming out of North Fort Myers that went to Florida State, the best place I could have been is the city of Atlanta. And for Shedeur and his style and his swag, he would have cleaned New Orleans.
He would have been an icon, bro.
Like, and I don't know if New Orleans did that, because they want a guy named Manning in a year or 2. I don't know what their plan is.
I hope that's not the plan.
But they totally don't care about this year.
Yeah.
Obviously. That's obvious.
They totally don't care about this year. Steelers totally didn't care about this year.
Yeah.
So dumb. Last thing, and we can get to comments after this, but I don't even know if it's a question. But for me, the most frustrating part was just like what Scotty said, the work that you guys, the work that Bucky, Darius do, the way that this program is just so upfront and allows you to really take an inside look at what's going on. Shedeur has always been Shedeur when we've spoke to him, when he's on your videos, when he's on the podium out there.
And you see him during bad times.
Of course.
He's the same dude.
To me, it's just the truth just doesn't seem to matter when it came to this. And that's what bothers me the most is like, even, you know, the quote unquote journalists like us or you guys who are actually there, like documenting these, it's like, it doesn't matter. It's like people ignored all this information that was right out there about Shedeur. And instead they go and make up their own claims. And, oh, he actually did this behind closed doors when, as Coach Prime said, as you said, as we've said all this entire time, it just doesn't match up with who he is.
No, it doesn't. And again, you know, lie don't care who tell it. And you have coaches with interest in their own jobs. Like, I ain't bring that guy here and then his daddy come replace me. You have GM people who don't want a larger-than-life presence like the Sanders name around. All of those are crazy reasons and are probably going to do. The guys who think that and orchestrated that are probably going to be out of the job in the next 2 seasons.
For sure.
Because it shows a lot about who they are and their competitive spirit, that if you orchestrate something so you wouldn't have to compete, you know. But just like Coach Prime would tell you, God got us, and the world is going to see, like, how they messed up.
I totally believe that, yep.
Totally believe it, because Shedeur Sanders is overly qualified to be an NFL quarterback.
Facts. All right, let's get to the chat. We got to be a little bit. We have to get out of here.
No, we're good.
Oh, we have time. Okay, sweet.
Woo woo.
All right, send in some questions. Let's try and knock a good amount of them out here.
Let's do it.
One last thing quickly before we get this chat going, which is Shedeur, just to tie a bow on it. It's real simple, I think, for him. And part of the reason why I said right there after the job, like, I'm at peace with this whole. Everything that went down is obviously annoying and pisses me off, but I'm at peace with it. Partly because obviously I had spent months talking about how I thought the Cleveland Browns were a good fit for him schematically, and he obviously ended up there. But all Shedeur, in my opinion, got to do before week 1 is beat out Dylan Gabriel, which we all believe he is more than capable of doing. Because if you're, you know, the top rookie quarterback that they took in this draft, you're a part of the future plans. And if you're the backup, you know, at worst to Joe Flacco, that means you're going to play in a lot of games this year.
Absolutely.
And like you mentioned, I think that would be the goal. Go into week 1 as QB2, and at that point, you have everything in front of you.
Yeah, just wait.
Just wait. It's going to happen.
Because Father Time is undefeated.
Like, it never lost.
It's going to happen.
Never lost. So I just can't wait. And again, everything that he had to go through with this whole pre-draft process, I think it's going to be worth it when he's the first quarterback to really bring the Cleveland Browns out of the depths of hell.
And then you know what happens, Scotty. You can't live in that moment now because we're in the moment.
Yeah.
But 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 years from now, everybody always goes back and looks at the draft class.
Always.
And you're going to look at the quarterbacks from that draft class.
Yep.
And so now it's 6 years from now and people are going to say, like, man, let's look at that 2025 draft class and where are they now?
They're going to be like, wait, who the hell is Tyler Shook? How did he get picked in top 50? They're going to be like, wait, the Browns took 2 quarterbacks the year they drafted
took one
Shedeur?
ahead of
Or that guy from Ole Miss is now the assistant coach at Ole Miss.
Man.
Insane, bro.
Crazy.
Traded up for that.
Traded
To
up.
draft a third-string quarterback.
Yeah. That was a total, hey, man, hold my beer. Y'all think y'all done played over him? Watch this. Watch this. I can show y'all effing with a guy.
Man,
I'm going to trade up and not do it.
I was convinced they were doing it to pick Shedeur, too. They got me.
Yeah, for sure.
Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channels, The Pregame Show and DNVR Sports.
I got to say this, man.
What's up, bro?
Scotty mentioned a billboard outside his house. Scotty posts the most beautiful, but I'm not telling you where I live pictures. Like, you had to put a puzzle together to figure out where he is. Like, it's just a random skyline or a leaf on the ground. You know,
he's artistic with it.
Yeah. There's a piece of bubble gum on the sign. You know, he's like, I'm gonna figure out what the hell this is.
Hey, man, it's the aura, man. You know what I'm saying? we gotta keep some. Keep it questionable.
And I'm just telling you, man. If this shit doesn't work out for you, urban photography that's your next level.
I love a good skyline, man. Yeah. You know, I'm a sucker for a good Colorado skyline.
A pool with nobody in it. You know, it's just
Have you heard of the game GeoGuessr?
No.
You'd be a pro at it.
It's a game where literally they just like put up a picture of somewhere in the world.
You just guess
and
where
you
it is.
put a pin down and you guess where you are.
I think I'm familiar with
You've
that. I think I've
probably
it before,
seen content from it, yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right, let's get to the chat. Adam asks, is Mo Sims still with the team? He is not. He just got hired by Florida.
Yeah,
A&M?
FAMU, and is now on an internship with the Texans, I think.
Crazy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good for him. Do you have an update from Sammy Sachs? X in the cut is asking. He missed a lot of spring with injury.
Yeah, he's looking good, man. He was one of the guys that I had on my list to mention injury-wise that you see in the building looking good. Sammy's in the weight room doing his thing, so he looks ready to compete and play.
What about Keaton Wade, too? He was also in
Yeah,
the same boat.
Keaton is he's still kind of off to the side on certain drills, but he's doing more and more drills now.
Okay.
So, but his direction is he will be ready for fall camp and ready for the season.
Awesome. Preston is all good, 100% too.
Yep,
Love to hear that.
That's one of the things that happened this offseason, man. Like, everybody is back or on the road back.
Awesome.
So by the time we get to camp or Georgia Tech, you have a full team.
One more name, Amari McNeil. He's all good.
Yeah.
Love to hear that.
Yeah, he's doing all the workouts.
Love to hear
Oh,
that.
actually, one more. Omari Miller, is he like full go at this point?
You can tell that there are certain strength drills that he's not 100% back yet, but he is 100% participating.
Awesome.
Let's get it.
What's up, Gearhead? Ask Neely another one. If Torian Carter is finally healthy and able to work out.
Man. And like got a smile on his face, is hauling ass in the sprints. Here's TC's. Feek is so loud that TC seems quiet now.
Sure.
It's like,
Yeah.
but he's really just as vocal, and I think that just as much as his playing ability was missed and his leadership was missed, him being a guy that when he talks, everybody knows, like, hey, man, TC talking. And if he's saying that we need to get our shit together, like that presence is going to be reinvigorated. But he's working out and looking good, man.
That D-line some serious.
It really is. It really is. It's the same thing. I'm telling you, next year, what you had everybody lined up to see, LaJohntay Wester and Jimmy Horn Jr., this is going to be trenches, ground zero next year's pro days.
Cannot wait.
Because all these guys that we have now on the O-line and D-line that are going to be draft eligible, like there's some talent there, man.
Do you have anything else on Quincy Wiggins? Heaven's Demons is asking, is the arrow still pointing up? Is the trajectory still on the track it was on? Yeah,
I think one of the things that I saw during the spring with Quincy Wiggins was, Coach Prime and Hilo conversation, where it's like, hey, we're gonna help in his development process because we believe like this is that guy.
Yeah.
And so there were some situations at practice. He was the green dot, so he could get a better understanding what was taking place, get confidence up because clearly he has the physical mechanics. And so I think some more of that'll happen this August to get him where he needs to be. But the biggest thing from that is he is very coachable. Like you don't see him pouting or moaning or saying, hey, why do I have to have it just to hear and nobody else does? Like he's embracing. He wants to get better. Because, what do we talk about year one, Jake? Who am I afraid of when I see him get off the bus? And year one was nobody.
Right, yeah.
This year's like 25 of them.
Let's go.
Deep.
Like you have to ask for my meatloaf. I'll give it to you.
I ain't going to lie. That's one of the biggest indicators of like how far this team has gone. You on that, talking about just scary dudes. In the
we had no scary dudes year one.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing this at them. Like, man, sit down. Now it's like, hey.
Scared nobody.
Yeah. No, we got some scary dudes now, man.
Do you know who KJ Edwards is? The young running back, 2026 recruit?
Of him.
I
said I know of him.
Oh, okay. Essence Service is asking if he's still in play. I'd imagine he is. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, though.
No, I don't.
Okay. Miles asks, who's the sneaky contributor on the O-line in your eyes? Someone most people aren't talking about. Good question.
Philip Houston. And I think it's because people forgot.
They did.
Like he got lost in the conversation right before the injury and after it. But I think people are going to be surprised. I also think people are going to be surprised that Rock is going to stand up and say the center spot is mine.
All right.
Come take it from me.
Is he playing center
He can play all of it.
I know he can because
but like right now, like we don't know.
Sure,
but I just know his mindset, the work he's putting in individually. Like
he wants to play center.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody gonna have to take that from him.
Say less.
Like he's not conceding that.
I would. That's exactly what I expect from Tyler Brown. Honestly, that's just his mentality.
And then his upside is, let's say it doesn't work, you just moving one slot over.
For sure.
Like he can play, man.
Yeah.
He can.
And he's still the strongest dude in the building.
Big 21 asks, who do you think is being slept on the most?
21.
Our linebacker room, without saying the individual name, our linebacker room.
Preach, man.
Yeah, our linebacker room. I don't think we are giving Coach Hart's coaching enough credit and shine, and we're not giving what has been recruited into that room enough credit and shine. We'll see through the process who emerges, but it's some damn good athletes in that room, man. And I don't think our linebackers are talked about enough.
I think the winter additions are being slept on in particular. I think that too many people ran with what Coach Prime said in the spring about adding to that room and taking that as saying that the winter transfers were not as advertised.
Yeah.
Where these are very productive guys who played a lot of football who are coming in to stabilize this linebacker position.
Yeah, I think Kylan Salter could potentially be a little hidden gem.
Dude.
He looked like a problem.
Yes. And like it's not so in the past, what you're saying is exactly right, but even before that passed, there was so much attention on the D line and secondary.
Right.
Because of the names, the buzz, that people just slept on the linebackers, and now we're continuing to do that when that room has been upgraded, man.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna make some plays.
Love it, man. Vaughn asks, Unc, what do you think about Joseph Williams, Smoking JoJo Williams, as I call him?
Can I write that nickname down?
That was a pretty good one.
That is a good one, Von Ramble. We're at that point in the season, man, where like everything can be positive because you see the energy and the work. But we're also about to get to that point in the season, like, okay, I ain't seen enough of this. Now I want to see pads.
Yeah.
So Arrow is like tremendously pointing up on these guys, including like, and so you don't want to oversell it, but you also don't want to undersell. It's almost like what Shador is going through. Like at the end of the day, it is OTAs.
Yeah, you got to take it with a little grain of salt.
It is strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
But when I see somebody's leadership acumen, the work ethic, the drive, doing something without being told,
the accountability.
Those all which we didn't have in the past. Yes. Those are all indicators of how that's going to translate to football. One of the things I told Coach Swayze, and you can apply this to Joseph or anybody, is that this is truly going to be the first time, because we're ahead of schedule yet on schedule, strength and conditioning wise, that I've seen Coach Prime's strength and conditioning staff hand the keys over to the coaching staff, and the team was in football shape.
Hell yeah.
Not two or three guys on this unit, one guy there. The entire team is in football shape. Because, Scotty, you can't practice if you ain't in shape. Because there's only so many reps you can do. There's only so much success you can have because you got a product that is not in condition to practice football.
Hell yeah.
These guys are ready to practice football in June if we could.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Love it.
And I think Joseph Williams there, or Smoking JoJo Williams, as his new nickname goes, is a perfect example of what you were talking about earlier, where he might not start week 1, he might not start week 2, but by week 5, week 6, wouldn't shock you at all if he was consistently in the rotation and a favorite target of whoever's under center at quarterback.
Yeah, and man, you can put the names on the wall, close your eyes, and throw a dart. There's so many receivers that are going to have big games this year.
Hell yeah.
And it may be 2 or 3 games in between their next one because it's matchup based, But we got some talent. I said linebacker room, but people kind of sleeping on the receiver room too.
Dogs. Me and Jake did a draft.
We drafted the whole receiver room.
Five
guys each.
They 10 deep, and we left off with probably 1 or 2 guys who people were like, why didn't you mention him?
And I think we both felt good of running those 5 out as like, here is just what we're running.
And here's the deal, dudes. We are so committed. From what I hear in the offensive staff meetings, and and Coach Sherman said it publicly, we're so committed to running and involving a tight end.
Hell yeah.
That the fight ain't 5, the fight is 3. And them 3 are gonna be some mofos.
That might be the best thing you said on this show, bro.
I'm just telling you, I'm just reporting what I'm hearing and seeing, man.
That's fantastic.
It's true though.
Like,
you got 10 dogs fighting for 3 spots.
Yes.
Best man win.
So you know how the best gonna be?
Exactly. Exactly.
Love it. On the super chats, Baron asks, "What's up, Tripod? Just became a diehard. Shout out to you, Baron. Let's go, man.
Let's go, Baron.
If we go 4-0, I'm calling this team the New Avengers. I love it.
Fire.
Pop in the Discord. Say what's up, Baron.
It's
And
there, man.
Everybody out there, be more like Baron. Become a diehard if you aren't already a diehard, man. Let's get it.
Man, I'll do this now because I probably can't do it in August or September. 4-0 is a reality.
Oh,
Like that is teed up nicely.
I think so too.
I'll be honest. It's the expectation.
Yeah, and it's the
Straight
expectation
up
to build
It's
it.
the
Like
expectation.
it's yeah, man.
It's the expectation.
I mean, especially if you beat Georgia Tech, then yeah, I'm expecting you to be 4, 5, 6-0 or something at that point. Because Georgia Tech is clearly one of your toughest tests on
And
this entire schedule.
then the cannibalization of the Big 12 starts because we're playing each other.
Yep.
We're not in division, so top 2 go to Dallas. Like you sitting pretty, man. You
4-0
just got to take care of business,
4-0 takes you right into that game with BYU, which will be circled regardless.
regardless.
So, yeah.
Shout out, Baron. What's up, Eric? Is the bus coming back? Did Mama T redecorate? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Eric again says,
Is that a stay tuned on both parts?
Yeah, that's about Mama T.
Oh no, Mama T, don't worry. If we have the bus, she has full access to do whatever. Spruce it up however she wants. Eric also asked, what has Chef Solomon been cooking up lately?
Good. Hadn't had meatloaf yet though.
You might have to give him a recommendation.
I will do. No, it's been good, man. You know, these guys, like we kind of joke and play like, oh man, let's go eat to chef. But there's like a scientific formula that takes place that we don't discuss.
Yeah.
That this is for these guys to get in the best shape of their lives. That's why breakfast is mandatory, and what's prepared for breakfast, has been calculated what you eat. And there's certain guys who get a plate that's just for them. Same thing with the smoothies after practice. So shout out to not only Chef Solomon and his staff in the kitchen, but the nutrition staff down in the weight room. And even, when you get to team meeting times, man, like we've done shows in the linebacker room, right? And you see that little file cabinet thing with players' names. That's like their vitamins. They're individualized. Wow. When you come into the room, you open your drawer, and your supplements you need are in your drawer. So it's organized. So Chef does his part, but everybody else too.
Shout out to Chef, that whole staff, and shout out to Coach Prime too, because
we
we had Deion Smith on the show earlier this week, who was a Colorado running back for a couple years before the Coach Prime era. He was there the first spring of the Coach Prime era before he transferred to BYU. But he was talking to us earlier in the week just about the difference in food before Coach Prime arrived and after he arrived. As soon as that first spring. And what I found crazy was that I thought Chef Solomon came in with Coach Prime.
No, he was there.
But Chef Solomon was there, and the food wasn't great. But that wasn't Chef Solomon's fault. He didn't have the resources, the funds.
You want to get another curveball?
I would love to.
Shout out to Chef Solomon for rising to Coach Prime's demands and standards.
Yeah.
But Chef Solomon would tell you that at the time he was so frustrated he was about to leave because it wasn't up to what he wanted to do.
I bet.
Totally.
And so now these worlds collide, and Coach Prime is like, hey, dog, this bull junk ain't gonna cut it. And Chef is like,
thank you. That's what I've been waiting on.
I've been saying.
Would you go upstairs and tell him that? Because I haven't been wanting to do this.
Facts.
Like I'm doing what I got to do with. But with you behind me, we can shape this thing up.
That's awesome.
And that's what they've done, man. They understand regions that players come from. And so you got regional menus and seasonings and that kind of stuff. And also, special diets when people have allergies. You go up and get a plate away from everything because the peanut oil may have touched your plate or something.
Right.
So it's detailed, but shout out to Chef, man, because as y'all know, when Coach Prime said he was bringing his Louis, that wasn't just people. That was principles. That was philosophies.
Standards.
And Chef Solomon was like, sign me up. When he could have folded.
For sure.
Standard
Could
is
have
the
gone
standard.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Last one from Heaven's Demon. Unc, when's the last time you had a 6-day aged Ralphie sandwich?
I'm going to have one 6 days from now. Because on the way out the door, I'm placing the order and I'm putting it up.
Hell yeah, man.
So bought today and I'm going to eat it next Thursday.
Let's get it.
Got to let that blue cheese age,
Foul.
Yuck. Yuck.
Oh man, this is great. So good to have you back in town.
Man, it's good to be here, man. So like I'm here next Friday,
Yes,
right here in
sir.
the studio, and
Yeah.
man, I'm looking forward to.
RK will probably be here then. Let's hope.
Good, man, shout out to that guy, man. I hate I had to miss the wedding, had some family stuff come up, but I'm gonna give him a pass for not being here this Friday. But this is the last time I'm giving him a pass.
It's been a big summer for him.
You only get
No,
one.
it's been a huge summer for him, man. Huge summer. But I'm glad to be back, man. Happy that we're continuing this partnership.
Of course.
And there's gonna come a magical moment, mid-July-ish, that it's like every Friday to Christmas.
Woo-wee.
Oh man, if only that was tomorrow. Can't wait.
Well,
bro.
we got a couple of Thursdays because we got 2 Friday games.
Oh, that's true.
So we'll have like 2 Thursday shows that are pregame shows,
Yeah.
and then 2 Friday post games. But
It's almost that time, man.
it is, man.
Let's get it.
Man, I can't wait. Thanks again for coming down, Unc. We'll have you
Yes,
back
sir.
next week.
Yep, I'll be here.
Stoked for that. This was a great show. Honestly, not to toot our own horn too much. I thought we killed it this week, bro. Being straight up.
Good stuff, brother.
But yeah, thank you, man. Good to
That's
have you
all
back
good,
in
man.
the fold.
Shout out to my Uber driver, the Woody.
Yeah, what that mean? I gotta get the
White girl with a booty.
Well, there you go.
Her words, not mine.
See, how do you know that though?
That's
'Cause
what I'm saying.
She didn't get out the
No,
car to let you.
like that's what I'm saying.
You
Like,
said
oh,
you could
she
just
wanted
tell.
you to know. She told me this.
Oh wait,
She's like,
told you
like,
this.
yeah, some of my friends they call me Woody. You probably don't know what that is. I said
Yeah,
that's a
I
white girl with a booty. She said, yeah. Most. I was like,
All right, if we went there, can you explain one more thing? What is up with the clavicles in the chat? What the hell does that
I
mean?
am dead. A cloud.
oh, like he's showing, like he's.
Yeah, is that like a morning run joke or something though? Like,
Yeah. Well, Uncle Chico joke. Shout out to Chico, man.
Definitely shout out to Chico.
Like that dude is like.
Y'all
he's
had
a
me
shit.
rolling the other day. I ain't gonna
my
lie. Y'all had me rolling the other day. You and Chico.
He's got his hair braided now.
I peeped. He looking fresh.
Y'all, that's not what I told him to look like. I said if he shaved his mustache and beard, he look like a stud. And I don't mean like a cowboy stud.
Oh my god.
I'm talking like Cleo from Set It Off, Queen Latifah. That's what he looks like.
That's a classic movie too, by the way.
It is. So don't call him Chico, call him Cleo.
The fact that kind of rhymes is hilarious.
Oh yeah, then Mo, you see what it says Uncle Delix? Like that's Chico's thing. Like when
Uncle
people side with me, it's just an Uncle Delix, man. They just follow you no matter what. Like, hey, Chico, people want to be right. Facts. They follow you and they want to be wrong.
Oh, this is too much fun.
Well, since we explained the things, why they keep calling you? Why they keep mentioning hand sanitizer?
I have no idea.
Where did that come from,
It's
bro?
just our own personal troll in the chat who just loves to make accounts.
Man,
and
I
all
was
that
on a
stuff.
show the other day and a guy came in and I don't know if he's been in here, but his screen name was RK's forehead or something.
Yeah,
and
no,
I just,
he's here.
Yeah,
I
he
just
here.
tried like to not cry laughing. Like I'm not going to acknowledge.
He
it.
knows what he's doing.
But when I saw that,
I think
like,
he's related to Jake's eyebrows, if I'm not mistaken.
one. Yeah. I'm gonna take a little credit for Jake eyebrows though.
That's all you.
appreciate
Trust me. That is all you.
They are phenomenal.
Alrighty, man. You got an extra 20 minutes today, chat. Happy Friday. We'll be back on Monday. We'll have Unc back this time next week as well.
Yeah, next Friday, man, I'll be here, and the awesome foursome will be together, right?
Quad pod.
Squad pod.
Let's go. See you then. Let's go, Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.